we say the word rising in love. Rising in love. So in this love, the soul rises. In a physical, in a love in the physical world, we say falling in love. But here in this love, the soul rises, rising in love. It's like a parachute. Parachute has different strings that hold the person, and then he is able to fly. Right? So in love, what happens is once I experience different strings, it's like different relationships with the divine. So each relationship with the divine helps me to rise up above the mundane, the physical, into the eternal. So rising in love. So I'm going, and what is helping me is these experience of relationships with the divine. So experience the divine as my mother, as my father, as my friend, as my teacher. I think yesterday we were listening to this. As my guide, as like the soul eternally belonging to the divine. Then the divine is able to pull the soul up. So I then begin to rise in love. Rise to my fullest potential. Rise to my eternal stage. So let us just create this little few moments to experience. So I, the soul, separate from the physical body. Experience being loved by the divine. Unconditionally. It's all different relations that are there of the role. I begin to experience them of the soul. Experience that I am a child being nurtured, nourished by the divine as a mother. I am a child, supreme being is my father, protecting me. I am a student, supreme being my teacher, educating me, teaching me how to live my life. And the supreme, my guide, guiding me. My friend, there with me at every moment. My companion. All relationships of the soul are with the divine. And these relationships, the essence of these relationships, makes the soul rise in love. Rise in love. And so there is no more scope for labor. So mind that has tasted the saccharine, the sweetness of all these relationships won't experience labor, but will experience love. And the final stage is then the stage of being lost in love. Lost in love. And so I can rise in love, and then I'm lost in love. Lost in love is like my old self. I lose that self. And as if the divine then gives me back to myself. Stage of being lost. So we also call it as the loveline stage. Lovely. Absorbed. This morning we got absorbed. Being absorbed in love. Completely absorbed. Soaked up in love. So when I feel that, and the truth is that there is no one else who loves the soul. Loves the soul. The physical love is loving the role. But spiritual love, the love of the divine, is love for the soul. So I just get absorbed in that love. And the more I get absorbed, the more I become an observer. I lose the sense of the role, and I live in the soul. In the stage of remaining absorbed in that love, lost in that love. So to absorb, once I'm in that absorption, then the real transformation happens. Absorption. Then all the outer acquired habits or sanskars of the soul, they just fall apart, diluted there. And then the soul feels cleaned up completely. So just like a dirty cloth is soaked, absorbed in soap water, and then the soap is able to just work chemically and then remove all the dirt. In the same way, lost in love. It's like the soul in love with the divine. So we just create this experience for a few moments of being completely lost, absorbed, like a sponge absorbs water. I absorb God's love for me. I know that I am loved unconditionally, regardless of any weakness, regardless of any action, any mistake. Because the supreme love accepts the soul. I lose myself, get absorbed in this love. And come out fresh as an observer of this drama. Option.